Hello, my name is Dr. Ruthie, or Dr. Ruth Newstifter if you want to be formal. I'm a professional sexuality educator and a blog over at exploringintimacy.com. I'm also the author of The Nice Girl's Guide to Talking Dirty. But today I'm here answering your questions on sex and relationships for the wonderful folks over at funwares.com. So make sure to give funwares.com a visit and tell them that I said thank you. If you want to ask me a question, you can shoot it over to me by Twitter or Facebook at the information you see at the beginning and ends of this video. Or you can email it over to askdrruthie at funwares.com. That's AskDrRuthie at funwares.com. All right, sweet, simple, to the point question. Does masturbating frequently make the clitoris less sensitive? Thank you for the Twitter asker who sent that, who I believe was female, judging from your lovely avatar. Let's talk a little bit about what the clitoris is and how it works so that you can be not worried at all about ruining sensitivity. And we'll also talk about treating our body well so that you're getting the most out of that kind of touch. This is Venus, and she is my stunt vulva, and so let me show you a little bit where the clitoris is and what we're talking about here with this question. So this is the vulva. This velvety fabric here, this darker red color, is where all the pubic hair grows. So on the mons, which would be up here, and over those big outside lips. Some people have little outside lips, some people have big outside lips, but either way, pubic hair will be growing there. Then we have the inner lips here, which are tucked inside the outer lips. Sometimes there's a hair or two growing on them, but not too many, not too frequently. Sometimes they protrude and are very flowery. Sometimes they're shy and petite and tuck right in there. And it's absolutely normal for them to be two different shapes and sizes. Not a problem there. As long as they're not looking, inflamed or unhappy, they're actually rarely perfectly symmetrical. So a beautiful vulva has all kinds of delightful shapes to explore, whether they're flowery or petite and tucked in. This up here is the clitoral hood. It oftentimes attaches to the inner lips right here. Sometimes there's a whole lot of clitoral hood and just very profuse flowery tissue, and that is absolutely fine and normal and beautiful. In that case, the clitoris is tucked underneath. You may or may not be able to lift the clitoris hood up to the clitoral hood up, to see the clitoris, but it doesn't really matter because you can also touch the clitoris by rubbing the clitoral hood over it. For some folks with vulvas and clitori, is that the right plural? Sure, let's make it the right plural today. So for some folks who have a clitoris, this clitoral hood will barely be visible. It may be very little skin or nothing at all. For some, there'll be lots of it. Sexual functioning is just fine either way. It's not a problem. They're both beautiful. They're both highly functional and wonderful parts of the body. So there's no need to stress either way about whether your clitoris or your vulva looks wonderful. Ladies, no need for surgery. It looks beautiful just the way it is. All right, so that's kind of the lay of the land here. Now, if you're curious, the vagina is a little ways down from the vulva. It's right about here. The G-spot is spongy tissue on the belly button side. So that means if you're laying on your back, it's up towards the ceiling. If you're laying on your tummy, it's down towards the floor. And so the G-spot is just a knuckle to a knuckle and a half inside. It's not way up ends or anywhere weird or unusual or hard to find. It doesn't change. It's always in the same area, and it's a nice little stretch of your vagina, of your vaginal canal. So, it's not one tiny pinpoint spot or anything like that. The vagina is the part that you can insert your fingers into if you so choose, and the anus is down around back and neighbors in the rear, so not visible on this particular model here. So anyway, this is the lay of the land. Welcome to your vulva, ladies and partners of ladies. So we have the clitoris up here at the top, and it's always sensitive, but if you're not aroused and you're not wet, or she's not aroused and wet, it'll be sensitive but in kind of an unpleasant way. If she's aroused and wet, and sometimes those things don't happen at the same time, it could be just one or the other, but we want both, so we can add a little lubricant or add some more mental, emotional stimulation or physical stimulation for arousal. When this is wet and happy, then that's the time to touch it and stimulate it. This is the home of the orgasm for the vast majority of women. It's a minority of women who can have an orgasm just from vaginal penetration. Ladies, there's nothing wrong with adding some fingers or a vibrator or whatever else you use to stimulate yourself with during sex play to the clitoral area for extra sensitivity. In fact, it's highly recommended because that's how most of us have our orgasms. Okay, so the question was, does masturbating frequently make the clitoris less sensitive? No, not unless you're being really harsh and rough with your body or using some sort of weird chemical for lubricant or something like that. Your vulva is made to be adored and touched and pleasured, and so it's made to be stimulated, whether you stimulate it over the clitoral hood if you have a big one, or whether you have direct stimulation, or whether you go a little to the side because right on top is too much, or whether you rub up here or vibrate the area or over your pants. However you want to stimulate, you're not going to make the clitoris less sensitive. So using a good body safe, body healthy lubricant, you're going to make sure it doesn't have cheap glycerin in it so that it's not contributing to yeast infections. If you find yourself getting irritated or otherwise unhappy with the lubricant, switch to a different brand that's made with different ingredients so that you're not causing those kind of reactions. And make sure you're not using anything like hand lotion or hair conditioner, because those are not made to go on the mucous membranes of your body like this. You want to use something specifically made for that purpose. And something that you can wash off easily, right? So that everything is clean and happy when you're done. Okay, so we have the area and we have touching it. Now what can happen is if you're regularly using a very intense form of stimulation, like if you like to rub your clitoris while it's kind of dry, or if you like a really high power vibrator, you could get in the habit of being used to those kinds of sensations, which some people confuse with making the clitoris less sensitive because you're not noticing other types of stimulation. This is not the case. It's just a habit of what you're used to and what you like. It's just, for instance, when you blow your nose, you pick up your tissue with one particular hand or the other. It doesn't mean you can't blow your nose by picking up the tissue with the other hand. It just means you're in a habit of how you're used to doing it, and that can always be changed if you want to. So no, it's not going to ruin or cause you any kind of damage. Use a body-safe product and enjoy yourself. In fact, women who stimulate themselves regularly better know what they want and can show their lovers what they enjoy, and in fact will enjoy a better sex life by themselves and with their partners because you masturbate regularly. So thumbs up, keep on masturbating. As long as it's not interrupting your quality of life or something like that, then you're doing just fine. I'm Dr. Ruthie, highly encouraging you to masturbate regularly, and I will see you in the next video, and thanks to funwares.com.